thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my current go-to makeup. This is a little bit different than favorites. Favorites, I like to feature things that are newer, things that I'm enjoying integrating into the routine. However, this is my go-to makeup, so things I rely on and things that really perform well for me. And this is quick, so I know that in the past I've had some complex, overly complicated routines. This is very simple and it integrates both SPF and makeup. So usually I'm doing mostly SPF or mostly just makeup. So this one's in between, and that's why it's a go-to, because if it's an early dinner or something like that, I want a little bit of sun protection, but also look put together. This is also the makeup I put on to make myself feel like I'm put together. I actually was inspired by watching a video that I filmed, and I didn't film the Get Ready With Me. So if you saw the empties video, hopefully that will have posted already. If not, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I was looking at my makeup thinking, I really wish I had filmed that, because that was my go-to, because we were going somewhere after that. And I thought I wanted to share that with you because it's a routine that works for me, that's quick, effortless, it looks polished enough. And also we're going to try on a lot of the Chanel products I picked up recently, the lip products specifically, because I love this limited edition shade. So it is washed beige that I'm trying to find something for. This one is not close to wash beige, but it's also really pretty. So I show you that one, and then I think there are about 3 or 4 other lip products I'll compare to wash beige. So if you'd like to see that, please keep watching. I'm just gonna add a little clip here. I use the Shark blow dryer, the one with the brush on it. It's blue, I'll list it below. But that's how I got my hair straight today. I wanted to just quickly dry it. Of course, I'll go with the Dyson at the end, most likely. We're gonna start with some very basic SPF. So I'm trying to do something in between where I do SPF a lot and mostly SPF, and then in the evenings I do no SPF. So this is in the middle where we're putting some SPF on with makeup. And you've let me know this helps by letting you know what I put on my face first. So I'm using the Blanc Peony Eye Serum, and it's got this applicator, so I just go underneath the eyes like this. I also followed up with a little bit of the BIolifting Eye Cream. This is by Chantecaille as well, so just a little bit under the eyes there. And then I have on the Blanc Peony Face Cream, also by Chantecaille. So nice dense kind of cream. And I've yet to use the mask, so that's next. I'll be using that. But let's go in with SPF first. So I have this Odacite. I actually just ordered another one, so that'll probably be in a haul at some point. So this is SPF 50. You've let me know that tinted SPF is really helpful as well. So this is a tinted sunscreen, and I have mine in 2.5. Now these are Flex Perfecting. There aren't as many shades, but there should be a wide range for each one of these shades that it can address. So you'll see it's a little bit lighter, and I'm going to use this brush. This is a Chantecaille Blend and Smooth brush, which you also let me know is similar in shape to this one. This is the Hermes Foundation brush, which recently came back into stock. I don't know if it's still in stock, but it's really great. Some of you have 2 of them. So I'm gonna apply the SPF first, and it's gonna look light, and it's okay because it will start to just mesh with the skin. Anytime I have a physical SPF like this, like a mineral, so the active ingredient is zinc oxide 12%. It'll give some bounce back on the light and look lighter than it does in real life. So really quick SPF application. So I do love the Chantecaille their SPF primer product, but if you're looking for something that's a tinted SPF and more mineral based, so this is a mineral SPF, then this is a great one. Really elegant under makeup. I love the Supergoop SPF. That one's great for if I'm just putting on SPF, really lightweight. And I think I would probably already have posted the haul that went with some other things I hauled, but they came out with, or I don't know if they came out with it, but I discovered their SPF blush. So I also ordered that. So I wish you could see somehow what I can see in this mirror, because it's not nearly that color. It doesn't look like that at all. It looks very much like my skin. Oh, also I wanted to mention I went in with this Trinny London, this neck cream. This is the cream I've been using here because it's been feeling dry. I do it more for moisture than anything else, but it does say it helps lift sagging skin, firms and restructures, smooths lines and crepey skin. don't necessarily have crepey skin. Visibly fades age spots. So those are the things it claims. Like I said, I really just want it for hydration and hydrates nicely without feeling greasy. So I like that it takes away that kind of like that tight feeling on my skin when it's dry. Okay, so let's go ahead with foundation. I know you've let me know, some of you let me know this looks too light on me. However, it does mesh with skin. So it's one of those products, it doesn't oxidize, but it does mesh with the skin. And you can see here, like, can you see the color of this SPF now? Yeah, much different looking than when I initially got it out of the container. Okay, this though is that foundation, the Hermes. We're gonna go with the Hermes brush, and this is the one I am tempted to buy 2 of. I really try not to buy 2, but if I love something and it needs to be cleaned and I need it the next day, like I'll apply SPF with this as well, and concealer. So that's one thing I really like about this foundation brush, is that it works really well with concealer. And I'll use this for all of my base makeup. I'm just applying it to the middle here and then just kind of blending in it. Now, this is a very elegant, polished looking foundation, and I don't need to powder with it. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this. Kind of sets itself and just looks pretty over time. So we're barely using what I have on my hand here, just the teeniest bit. This is not a lot of makeup. Like I said, it's more about feeling put together, like, okay, let's put a little bit of makeup on and get on with my day kind of a thing. It's also really fast. This is the Chanel Corrector in Peach. I'm gonna go under the eye with this too. Dark spots. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the concealer. Then we got BD41 here. Under here. Then we'll see if we need that under the eyes. So I'm gonna use this same brush and just sweep that under the eye. Yeah, it works well for foundation and concealer. It kind of takes care of 2 purposes here. Does a really nice job of stippling a very concentrated area. It's like almost like an eraser there, kind of like the Clé de Peau concealer. This does a very similar job, less of a, not that the Clé de Peau is thick, but if you use that, it's quite substantial, a concealer. This is a little bit more fluid. The Chanel Corrector is a little more fluid. Okay, let's go in with a little bit of this BD41 right here in the darkest part. Keep that concentrated, but yeah, I barely used that foundation at all. It does look a little bit like, I agree. But once I get everything on, I can always fix it with a little bit of bronzer. I haven't been doing that though on the exterior, because if you look at the center of my face, this is the color of the center of my face. So I don't like to, I've said it before, I don't like to use foundation that's darker. Like if I went with a foundation that matched my forehead, then this would be about 2 or 3 shades deeper and it would definitely look off. And it's really hard to fix that. Okay, quick brows. I do need to re-up this Air Brow by Kosas. This is in Brown Black. Okay, and then I can go in quickly with Victoria Beckham's Taupe, just in the front. Now, for eyes. Quick. I'm gonna use Taupe Fume. Now there are, of course, other colors you could use. I just love this. It's got a coolish, like a mushroom, brownish, grayish. I think it's my favorite shade. It's a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray. This is limited edition, so I will list some colors that I think approximate this, although I don't have anything really I can think of that is the same shade. I keep looking, but I don't think I have one. Let me know if you can think of one. If you have this, let me know if you have any ideas around this. I'm just smudging it gently. And that's it. So in order to soften that, now the video that I did my makeup in that I really liked it, I used the palette, this denim palette, which I know is not available. This achieves something similar. You've seen this before. It's the Prada Palette 07. I'm just going to take this color, this one in the middle, and I'm just going to apply it on top of the eyeliner so it's not so distinct. But we do have a little bit of definition here along the lash line, and I'm just applying it on top and into the crease. This is Rae Morris number 8, and you can see the difference there. It softens it a little bit, and then I get just a little bit of cool tone there. Of course, depending on how much you want to see makeup, you can use something deeper like Burnt Taupe. It's a lovely single by Chanel that works well. Any kind of color that you like even a Beige palette, if you like those shades, like something in here would be nice, like this shade would be pretty. So something that's like in a medium, just slight glow. You can go with any color, but I just really like this one, so I'm gonna go with that. It's a Givenchy mascara, and I think mascara really helps. At least helps me. So you can see the skin, how it looks with the makeup on and the SPF. But I think, and maybe it's just me, I think over time, it really does mesh with the skin. Both the foundation and the SPF do that, where it's not looking so white or so light. It is looking like at least the middle of my skin tone on my face. It's a little bit extra. I have this one in Contour Clair by Chanel. I'm gonna go underneath just really quickly because, you know, I do apply a little bit of the, I've applied many times, the Trench by Victoria Beckham underneath, but I've started doing this a little bit as a, just as an option, taking a lighter color, like actually the denim palette works nicely too. But this again, I'm just gonna go into this palette, same color that I've been using, and then just run it underneath just to soften. It gives a little bit of definition, but it's not like a solid line. Just softens it. Let's go in with blush. This is a go-to blush. This is well loved. It's Valentino 9, and this is a Deluxe Kabuki by Rae Morris. Should be very familiar because they are go-tos for me, and I've really cut down on the amount of makeup I wear. I know I used to do some very, very involved things, but I mean, half of that was because it's just fun and I have the makeup, but this is definitely the most realistic, everyday process I would go through to just get put together for, say, lunch out or something casual in the evening. Really is all about the skin than anything else and just evening out skin tone. Again, getting some SPF on the skin, especially in these earlier evening dinner times because there's still some sun out. But I also don't want to look like I have a lot of makeup on, but I want to make sure I have SPF. So that's what this is for, with the potential exposure to some sun, but not like hours in the sun. And I'm going across the bridge of my nose as well. Okay, now I'm gonna do my hair and then we'll try on all of those lip shades because, ooh, the light. Because I do wanna get a good comparison of the shades, and especially if you were considering a washed beige. This is limited edition. It will go away at some point. I have at least one other backup I've ordered and I'm considering another one. So we're gonna try some of the other Chanel lip products that I ordered on and we can get a nice comparison. Let me just do this hair. I'll be right back. Dyson helps a lot to get my hair shiny looking, and I can see we are a little bit like lighter here. So I'm gonna take, you know, it's really my forehead. So we're gonna take Atlas by Hermes and just take the same brush. I'm gonna use my Kabuki brush here. So truly using bronzer as if it was a sun-kissed kind of thing. And then we can make some fine adjustments on the way. The lip that has been my go-to is this one by Chanel. It's in Wash Beige 286. And you'll see why. It's just such a pretty color. It's got the perfect amount of like a tawniness to it without being too cool, because that's another issue. It's very, I feel like I have a very finite range of lip colors that actually work well, because if they're too cool, they make me look ill, and if they're too bright, it's like it's too much because of the proportions. So this is 286. Oh yeah, I wanted to put that sweater on. Where is that? Because it was so pretty with the whole look that I was thinking of. Hold on. Okay, let me grab that sweater. I'm just gonna throw it over my shoulders. By Jenny Kane. Yeah, I think the right color also brings things together, like wearing the right color. White is pretty, but it can be a little bit, I don't know, not as exciting. Yeah, this is 286 Washed Beige by Chanel. So that is 286. This is the ideal shade for me. Now, I wanted to show you the other items that I got from Chanel recently that are attempts at approaching this lip color because I love it so much. So let me just remove this. And I love the hydration in this. This is the Rouge Cocoa Flash. It's one of my favorites because it does deliver some nice hydration. I wanted to show you this. So this is also a Rouge Cocoa Flash in Easy 116. So this one is permanent, but if we look at them, they look a little bit different. And I did this in an unboxing. You can kind of see the difference here. Here's Easy and here is 286. Really wish they would make this permanent 286. But let's go in with Easy. Okay, now this is pretty, but it's a bit cool for me. Cooler than 286. So same lovely hydration. I think this will work well if I have a cool look that I'm trying to work with. So I think this is like a close alternative, but it's not the same. Yeah, it's a little too cool. It doesn't really do anything for my overall complexion, but it works. I mean, it's fine, but it's not Wash Beige. So then I picked up a lip liner. I thought maybe these two things together would work, so let's do that. But this, again, 116 Easy. So then I got this lip pencil. This lip pencil is in 156, and I used this, or I thought this might be a nice way to cancel out, see this outline. I know people like this natural lip liner. I personally don't love it on me, and I'm not sure why, but it's not my aesthetic. I'm trying to neutralize that, so I thought this might be interesting. Again, 156 Beige Naturel. So I thought I introduced a little bit of this color, because this reminds me a little bit more of Wash Beige. This reminds me of Chantecaille's, their lip pencil that I love so much. I'm trying to think of the name, but there's one that I love by Chantecaille. Reminds me of that. This might have a little bit more warmth though. So that has a little bit of like that peachiness to it, neutralizes some of the darker tones. So let me show you this with Easy 116 on top. So I think this approximates 286 Wash Beige. And maybe I'll do a side by side. So we'll do side by side of this with Wash Beige because I can't really tell right now unless I see them side by side. I mean, the advantage of Wash Beige is that it's only a one-step process, really easy to reapply, but I think this is pretty as well. And if you want to overline your lips, you can do it with this lip liner. I think it's a really pretty lip liner. It's a bit more polished as well. I think this with a smoky eye would be really pretty. Okay, we're gonna go in with another lip product. I get a little bit of this Lip Potion by Chantecaille just to hydrate in between here. But before I do that, let's go in with this Honey Bliss. In case you were curious, 752 reminds me a little bit, has a little bit of shimmer to this though. So if you want like the Wash Beige idea, but a little bit of shimmer. And it seems a little bit more sheer. This is a Rouge Cocoa Balm. So still a little bit brighter, I'm gonna say. Also, when I start removing lip product, it can brighten my lips a little bit just because of it's getting irritated. In case you're curious, this is 752 Honey Bliss. Okay, so let's remove that. We're gonna go ahead with this 104 Mademoiselle in the Rouge Cocoa formula. And this was a newer color that looked interesting. Oh, I've already smushed it. That's nice. It does look familiar, like reminds me of other colors, but you'll see it's a little bit cool toned here. So it is more like a Your Lips But Better, like a satiny kind of finish. Especially the color. Like I applied it here and it looks almost the same color, just slightly cooler, just slightly cooler than my original lip color. Like there's like a purpliness about this color. So this is Mademoiselle. It's definitely sophisticated, but more polished than everyday for me, but I would definitely use it for evening. It's pretty. And I think with this sweater, it looks really nice. So I think it really depends on what I'm wearing, what lip will work the best. But that's a really pretty shade as well. Okay, so we have a final look here. This does look really pretty, like I said, with this sweater. And I think the lip really does depend on how good it's going to look based on what I'm wearing. So I think Mademoiselle looks really beautiful with this particular blue shade. However, I'm going to change back to Wash Beige. Yeah, I think I actually like Mademoiselle better because of the sweater that I'm wearing. Okay, so back to Wash Beige. And the reason why I think I love Wash Beige so much is because it's more unique. I think that this shade is hard to find. I looked at other lines. There was something by Westman Atelier that looks interesting. And then I think maybe something by Tom Ford that looked very close. So let me know if you have Wash Beige, what you have found that looks close to it in its consistency, because I love the hydration. I love the way it looks. I love the ease of application. Looks great every time I put it on. I get lots of compliments on it. So I think it's one of the most perfect shades I've ever tried. Yeah, and then the hair also influences my overall makeup application. I'm wearing less, I'm using lighter colors. It seems to be working out really well. So let me know if you have a suggestion for me, because I'd love to pick up something that is very similar, if not a dupe for Washed Beige. But I hope it was helpful to see the other lip shades on. I think they're all really pretty, but right now I'm preferring this to pretty much any other shade. But I can definitely see pulling for a Mademoiselle in the evenings or when I want to look a little bit more polished. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. So let's go in with this. This is the Chantecaille, no, yeah, different, much, oh, I used the Dyson, no, I didn't use it. I used the Shark Airbrush. Now, the lip that has been my, oh, okay, and in its consistency, not inconsistency.